Good morning, Osmonauts and friends. This is Kevin Barry. I'm here with Sonny, Eddie. We also have Roland and Lulian. And we're going to start in just a little bit. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going, Eddie?
It's going pretty good.
Nice.
Another early morning with the kiddo.
Yeah. Oh man. I don't have a kiddo, but I was one.
Remember how it goes.
Yeah. I remember the basics. Yeah, so we've got Roland from Agoric today and Lulian from Bitsong, which is going to be exciting. And I guess once Sonny's ready, we can dive into what's been going on Osmosis.
Yeah, can we pull Bitsong up here?
Yeah, who's the?
I think it's just their.
Yeah, let me quickly add you as a co-host so that you can add people up.
Oh yeah, because I was trying to.
Folks, we're just ironing out some technical hosting matters, but Updates from the Lab is live.
It's the beauty of it.
That's right. So welcome. Oh, it's good to see Greg's here. We got some pretty sweet group of guests. We got Jack, Steviewoofwoof. I see you. It's weird because the way that this is all displayed on my phone, I just see the first 4 letters of your name. So if you got Will's here, Steakacito, what's up? Steakacito, that's Cryptocito's validator. Then we got, well, this is a good crowd. I'm not gonna name everybody. Mike's here. I will say that I've been working with what we're getting. Guys, just interrupt me when everything's set up. I wanted to do a quick update about the Osmosis Community Support DAO. We have a Medium with an article that explains kind of what we've been doing over the past 17 days. We pretty much kicked it off on the 1st of November. And if I can figure out how to do it, I'll post a link to it. But we have been bringing on admins, compensating people who are contributing to the zone, and working on getting a live chat support function that also has a ticketing system that, let me just say, it's going to be pretty radical once it kicks off. So I'm excited about that, and Osmonauts should be too. So shall we begin?
Yeah, I'm trying to get Bitsong up here, but in the meantime, why don't we go ahead and talk about some Osmosis updates, what's going on.
We see you, Bitsong, and we will get you on board here shortly. Yeah, so Osmosis updates from the lab. Let's what's new, Sonny?
Yeah, so our entire team just got back from Lisbon this weekend, and so just been in this very much of a catch-up mode. Just met a lot of really cool people in Lisbon, a lot of cool opportunities and stuff. So honestly, every time I come back from a conference, I think I have to spend like a week just catching up on Telegram messages.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot. It's a scroll. It's a whole scroll.
Right, exactly. But in the middle, also on top of that, just working on a lot of cool stuff. I think I don't know if I mentioned this like last week, but like, I think one of my, one thing I realized from the conference is one of the high priorities is I want to get like the permissioned CosmWasm module on to Osmosis, because I think a lot of people are, from when I'm at the conference, a lot of people are excited to start building things on top of Osmosis somehow. And whether it's like people, there's some people who want to go build an ETF platform that uses the DEX, or people who want to go build like a leverage system, or people want to go build NFT badges for like, things that you do on the Osmosis DEX. And so, we want to build like a sort of permissioned, we want a way for like to enable people to do that. And so, currently CosmWasm is, I think, probably the second most popular smart contracting language. Maybe neck and neck with Solana. I'm not sure. They like flip each other every week. But yeah, so thinking about getting that platform, that environment onto Osmosis, but not like in a we don't want Osmosis to turn into this like generalized smart contracting platform. We want it to be like part of the goal with part of the reason that the beauty of app chains is that we can like iterate quickly, right? Like if we, let's say, we're working on a lot of like cool like protocol level changes, right? We're working on special encryption and a lot of privacy stuff, and it's like, these kind of changes maybe require changes at the application level, or maybe at the front end level, right? And the whole point is we don't want to have to go to, we want to be able to iterate quickly on these protocol level changes and not have to go talk to 1,000 different applications building on top of us to like just to push our protocol changes through. But if there are like certain things that are very like core to the product, to the core product of Osmosis, maybe it makes sense to the benefits outweigh the coordination costs of like having them on, and so we should have them on. Like there's someone I was talking to who wanted to build like a flash loan system.
Okay.
Something that would benefit heavily from being co-located with the DEX itself.
Yeah, that's like a germane application. Like it's we're very close to what people are doing already with LPing and trading. So just so I understand this, so what you're saying is that the idea is to bring on by permissioned CosmWasm, that's saying like certain CosmWasm or smart contract applications could build that are kind of relevant to what the AMM, what its core functionality is, but not just everybody.
Right. We don't want like random NFT projects or dog coins or something. But yeah, if it's something that's like relevant to the core DEX product of Osmosis, then yeah. This is a way of enabling external teams to start building on top of Osmosis.
Yeah, no, it's exciting, and I guess I understand it. Just so I understand the other part that you were talking about, which is that as these other aspects that you're working on, like the threshold encryption and perhaps superfluid staking, and these things come into play, that if you did have just a wide open door for any smart contracting application, that there would be kind of a negotiation, or I don't know, it would be messy to
it just slows down the whole process, because if we make some change at the protocol layer and we have to wait for every protocol, every application on top of us to upgrade and be ready for this change, then that like reduces our speed of iteration.
Right. I like the focus on speed, because like I think so many Osmonauts and so many people who are psyched about Osmosis are psyched that like at how fast it has been growing, and how quickly it's just, it was also being the first DEX on Cosmos. It has a special place in my heart. So that you guys just are prioritize that is it's a good value.
Thanks. So basically I've been spending last couple days actually sort of working on that, figuring out how to get CosmWasm onto Osmosis like as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then I guess other updates, as I mentioned, a lot of chains activating IBC right now. So we have band network. So we had key turn on IBC this week, and it's on Osmosis already. We have band and MediBloc, both they're just in the process of creating some pools right now, and so that those should go live on the front end pretty soon. We have Secret and Bostrom. They both activated IBC this last week, and they're currently in their proposal period of enabling IBC transfers. So once those are on, those should be able to come on probably in the next week or so.
Wait, I have a question about that, because I know I was excited that Secret was coming on from last week, and then I know they said something about it. It might take a while for it to for transfers to initiate, but how do we find out their timeline on that? Would that be in their governance area, or?
Yeah, it would be in their governance area. So you've noticed that most of the projects, for some reason, when you enable IBC, it's defaulted such that transfers are not enabled. I think this was from a couple of months ago when we were first starting IBC, and people wanted to take it slow, and so it was hey, let's deactivate it and have a separate governance proposal to activate transfers. I think at this point we should probably just change that default, because I think that's a little bit silly. But yeah, so basically, once Secret upgraded their changed IBC module, it was the parameter was defaulted to say transfers are disabled, and so now they need to make another governance proposal to enable the transfers. This is the same thing that happened when Terra updated IBC, if you guys remember that.
Okay, yeah. I mean, to me, if we stick with the quick iteration model, it seems like that would be a nice thing to tweak.
Right. But they should be getting that on very soon. And then a lot of cool, lot of change starting on. Oh, there's some couple of LBPs sort of coming in the next few days. So
nice.
If you guys have seen the Stargaze proposal, I think they're doing something really cool and unique, which is so they want to do a LBP with against Osmo, right? So basically they'll create an Osmo stars pool, and it'll have this auction system where the price is decreasing until the market starts buying it. But to create this pool, they need to actually have quite a bit of Osmo. You need a decent amount of Osmo to even instantiate the pool. And currently they don't actually have enough Osmo to do this. So what they're actually doing is so if you go to Commonwealth, they actually have a proposal up for this right now, where what they're going to do is they're asking to borrow Osmo from the Osmosis community pool, and they're basically saying hey, if you let us borrow this, we'll use this to run the LBP, and then after the LBP is finished, whatever the average price during the auction is, we're going to return that many stars to the Osmosis community pool. And so that's sort of in a way, it's sort of like an OTC swap with the community pool, where the community pool will be selling Osmo for stars at the bootstrapping price. But it's cool because it's also structured as this sort of loan as well, where we're giving them some Osmo so they can even do the price discovery in the first place. And so I don't know. I feel that's almost a cool usage of the community pool, and the Stargaze team is great. They've already airdropped a lot of their token to Osmo holders. So I think it's a cool way for the Osmosis community to help them out as well.
Yeah, I'm psyched for that. I missed out on the first LBP that I saw with Regen, and I was frustrated. So because I really wanted to be a part of it. Once I understood what it was, I didn't know what LBP stood for. I thought it was Long Beach Pool, or so. I didn't know.
For anyone who's not aware, it stands for a liquidity bootstrapping pool. So it's basically a method for starting a new pool when you don't know what the price will be. So it's a way of saying hey, we're going to do this auction system where the price is going to start very high, and the price is going to basically decrease over a period of 5 days, for example, and until it finds some price where people think hey, yes, this is the right price for it, so we're going to start buying.
Thank you for explaining that. I did not actually think it was Long Beach Pool. I just didn't know what it was. But yeah, it's exciting because it allows us to get involved. I think in cryptocurrency, trading and people who are excited about it, you're trying to find things that you can get involved in the very beginning, and that is the launching of a token on a new chain. So it's an exciting, I think, opportunity too for people.
Definitely. Speaking of new tokens getting launched on chain, Bitsong just listed on Osmosis.
Yeah, we have Bitsong. Is Lulian? Do we have the Lulian?
Yeah.
Set up now.
Yeah.
Welcome, Lulian from Bitsong.
Is it Lulian?
Can you hear me?
Is it Lulian? Am I saying your name correctly?
It's Eolian, actually, with an I.
Eolian. Ah, got it. Okay, fair enough. Now everybody else knows.
Yeah, I get like, let's say 75% of Lulians and 25% of real Lulian.
Nice. It's good to know the split on your name. Wait, what's the provenance? What is Eolian from?
Well, my parents are Romanian, but I grew up in Italy, so I'm, let's say, 75% Italian, 25% Romanian.
Okay, keeping with the ratio, I like it.
Yeah. So wait, it's the Italians who mispronounce your name?
No, actually not. Italians are pronouncing it well.
So it's the Romanians.
No, Romanians are pronouncing it well.
It's clearly me. I'm just being silly.
Let's say it's blockchain.
It's most other people on the internet.
Yeah, blockchain community is saying Eolian, but it's fine. I got used to it. So
okay, well, yeah. So welcome. Talk to us about Bitsong.
Yeah, so as you well said, we just enabled IBC like 10 days ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. We've been working on this since 2018 when we switched from Ethereum, because Bitsong was supposed to be built on Ethereum, but at the time that we started to build the platform and the main idea we had initially, we realized that we couldn't do it. So basically, we had
wait a second. Why couldn't you do it?
Well, basically, the main concept, the initial concept was to build a platform, a streaming music portal based on the Ethereum blockchain, where to help artists to get like revenues in real time, not having to wait 6 or 8 months or 1 year for the reports, and involve in the same time the community and the fans to get paid while they were listening to music. All right,
which is a great mission. I love that approach.
Yeah, it's a great mission, but we had to deal with a lot of issues in, let's say, in the traditional music industry, all right? So the issues were regarding the streaming, okay? The streaming royalties and a lot of legal stuff that it is much more complicated than you can imagine.
Okay, I was hoping for you to say that the fees on Ethereum just sucked ass. But
that was the main reason, because we realized it when we started actually to build the platform, all right? And that was the first reason. And then when we started to deal with, let's say, majors in the current music industry, we realized that we had 2 issues and not only one.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so we started researches for, let's say, for a new ecosystem which could host us. And after like 6 or 8 months, we discovered Tendermint first. At that time, Cosmos was not launched yet. We just found it in a white paper version, all right? So, but Tendermint was already functional and stuff, and we fall in love like with Tendermint, and then we realized that Cosmos, it's something incredible that opened up a new universe for Bitsong, and we gave Bitsong another face and another, let's say, 100 of use cases.
Awesome. That's a classic love story.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to pay like $200 in fees to get a track? Or,
I can imagine it on Ethereum. I can 100% imagine it.
It's just really kind of counterproductive almost.
Yeah, and then getting paid like $2.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
for a stream. Yeah. So yeah, this was basically the initial concept. Then we switched to Cosmos, and we let's say we started to imagine a new ecosystem for ourselves. And we realized that we could bring DeFi actually into the music industry. And since then, the face of Bitsong completely changed. We built a lot in these 3 years. We developed modules. We took part in the Cosmos ecosystem to many other chains, and we got many other ideas from the ecosystem, from the cosmonauts, basically. And yeah, the face of Bitsong today is, let's say that we integrated fan tokens, which I don't know if people here know about Chili's, about socials, what they are doing with football clubs.
Okay,
a lot of
I know a
clubs.
little bit, but if I would appreciate a refresher.
Yeah, basically what they are doing, they are, let's say, creating and launching fan tokens for the football clubs. They have a lot of one of the major football clubs in the world, Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United and stuff. And they are basically launching fan tokens on their platform for these clubs, and the clubs are, let's say, selling these fan tokens to basically to the fans of the clubs, and the fans are getting power based on the voting power they purchase, and they can participate in the decisions of the clubs, and let's say which shirt the team will wear at the next game, and and
interesting
stuff. And in the same time, it's an investment for the club, so they get money for that.
Well, yeah, that definitely makes sense. And for everyone out there in the United States, football clubs, he means soccer. If you guys.
Yeah, correct. But Socios is also on NBA. They got on NBA also, so they have some NBA clubs.
I was just being an asshole. I think people understand. And so these fan tokens, I guess they would work somewhat similar way with the music artists,
Exactly what Socios is doing with football, we are doing with music. So basically we're trying to create an artist economy via these fan tokens and NFTs, but we'll talk a little bit later about NFTs. Basically we're focusing more on fan tokens because we consider them to be so powerful for the artist economy. So basically they can create a fan token for themselves or for the songs they are having, all right, or for the artworks, and start creating them with parameters and stuff, with supply, max supply, and the specifications regarding the royalties. All right, they have to get. For example, if I don't know, Armin van Buren, and I have a song with Kevin and with Sunny, but I have Armin is having like 50% of the royalties of that song, then Kevin is having 25% and Sunny another 25%. These parameters can be, let's say, set at the beginning, at the moment of the creation of the fan token, and and then the fan token, the blockchain will split forever the royalties in that way. All right.
Okay, so that would be for like a particular, like you're saying, just for that particular song, it would be sort of like it would split the rights on it, or the fan, or for that album or whatever that collaboration would be.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's cool.
This is basically becoming an artist economy.
I'm imagining like fans, I don't know, deciding Cardi B's next outfit in her next video, and I almost think that's too much power.
Exactly. or what she has to dress at the next video clip, or what she has to run the next concert, and
what
stuff.
she's supposed to clothing she's supposed to remove, and there's got to be some limit where it doesn't turn into strip poker.
Well, if you have to talk about Cardi B,
she's gonna have to draw the line there, I would think. But it does open up an exciting, interesting, different relationship with fans and artists.
Yeah, you put more them more in, let's say, in close contact, right? Because right now you can buy a song wherever, on Beatport or on Spotify and stuff, but you buy the song, you listen to it, after 10 times you get bored, and that's a kind of lost money. But at this time you can buy the songs, decide with the artist, so having a certain power on the artist decisions, but also you can sell those tokens. All right, so for the first time you can buy and sell tokens of that.
This is something completely foreign to most musicians. I think that they could actually make money
almost in real time.
It's so it's I mean, I don't know, the industry as I understand it is set up to not to help musicians.
Yeah, it's been a
That's
struggle.
General understanding of it.
Well, let's say that the current services, the current streaming services are very good for the customer side, all right? Because you pay like $10 per month and you have all the music you want. But as an artist, if you don't have like, if you're not Rihanna, let's say the truth, you're not getting any money from them.
And I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make most of their money on tours now. Now with album sales, it's really taken some power and giving it back to the people, the creators.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, this whole, I also, when I talk to I have friends who are musicians, and I used to be in a band in high school, like many people. And some of them, like if I mention this technology to them, they're like, yeah, this stuff always screws us over. So we don't believe in it yet. We'll wait. But like, I want to believe in it. And I do think that something this, is possible to innovate in this space, and it's exciting. So I'm happy to have you guys on Osmosis and to hopefully be a part of that change.
Yeah, sure. We basically need, let's say, 10 use cases with 10 successful use cases, and then we think that would speak for us as a spread word. Let's say.
Nice.
Awesome. Let's take some time to introduce Roland from Agoric.
Yeah,
they're participating in the HackATOM. It's some really cool stuff with smart contracts going on. You want to talk about that a little bit, Roland?
Yeah,
sure.
Welcome, Roland.
Thanks for having me on, guys. So great to meet everybody. I'm Roland. I'm product manager at Agoric, and I know a lot of you are already familiar with Agoric, but I'm imagining a few of you aren't. And so I just wanted to quickly give an overview of what we're doing, and then why I'm on here today to chat. So Agoric is a smart contract platform launching in Cosmos this year, and we're already live with our initial mainnet, which is the Cosmos level chain, which is the staking token build, spelled BLD, and allowing staking and governance. The next upgrade that we are having is really the critical one, where we launch our virtual machine that allows developers to build and deploy contracts in JavaScript, and our own initial DeFi protocols that we're launching on top, which includes our stable local currency RUN, RUN, that pays for gas in the system, and we expect will be sort of a medium of exchange both on Agoric, and then we're also hoping outside of Agoric as well. So there will be a few different ways to mint RUN, but the primary one that we are imagining, and this will be partially up to governance, is as an Atom-backed stablecoin. So Atom comes into a CDP style vault, mint RUN against it, and then that RUN can be used both on Agoric and then over IBC.
That sounds awesome. I think I heard, it sounds like Roland cut out. Are you still there?
Looks like he's connecting.
All right, he'll be right back. I am fascinated.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I can give a little while we wait for Roland to come back and give some my perspective. So I'm excited for Agoric for like two reasons. One, I said CosmWasm is the second most popular smart contracting language right now. Well, JavaScript is the most popular programming language, period. Right. And so it's like, I think that like having, the Agoric smart contracting system will be like such a, it'll be probably an amazing way to like expand the tent and like bring new developers into the space. Right. Because like, I think Dean was telling me the other day, there's like 8 million JavaScript developers in the world or something. And so it's like, how do we get, if we can provide them an environment that they're like familiar with working in, how do maybe we can convert more of them into becoming Web3 developers.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. And then, we had like in web development, we had the rise of like full stack development, where it's like, Node.js is like, because, you had JavaScript developers who were like, we want to write our entire stack in JavaScript from like the server all the way up. And so it's like, well, what now with the Web3 stack, you can also write that in JavaScript as well with Agoric. And then the other thing that's actually really interesting is their stablecoin. I've been saying for a while, like, I would love to have like an Atom-backed a stable coin, right? Similar to Maker, but instead of like taking in ETH, there's a lot of Atom liquidity that I think would love to, still be exposed to atoms, but being able to borrow against it. So yeah.
Yeah, that to me sounds very solid. Like that's an exciting pairing.
Yeah.
Do we have Roland? Can we get you back?
I saw him back for a second, but then
okay,
disappeared again.
Yeah, I think don't they have like a challenge going on in HackATom?
So they do have a HackATom challenge. I am not expert at it, but I do remember the rough. I don't want to present because I don't want to mess it up, but it did involve bringing an LP token from Osmosis onto Agoric and locking it into I believe a longer term contract, like a 6-month contract with special rewards provisions.
Dean's up. Dean, you want maybe share it?
Hello, guys. I see Roland having Twitter issues, so I'll step in for the moment. But he's got a much better voice than I do for this. So. Can you hear me?
Fine.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Great. Okay. So yes. So Sunny, it's 13.9. Apparently, there was a recent report on JavaScript programmers in the world. So 14 million JavaScript developers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's massive.
When people ask why JavaScript, there are actually some good security reasons and all that sort of thing, but I got 13.9 reasons why JavaScript.
13.9
million reasons why JavaScript. So, where should I jump in here?
Do you want to talk about the
HackATom challenge? He was last talking about Run, the Atom-backed stablecoin.
Yes.
And then
Cool. Okay. So yeah, we're very excited about Run protocol and getting an Atom-backed stablecoin and getting that onto Osmosis for people there to play with and so forth. The HackATom challenge. So for starters, that's just an example and an important example of what people can build in the HackATom challenge. We definitely want them to trot out any of several other things that they might be able to do in that in HackATom instead, but we'll start with that one. So that is the category, HackATom challenges fall in these categories, and the category that Agoric took was IBC, the Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol. And so this was to do something meaningful with multiple chains, and in particular with Osmosis, because it's hot, the team is great, it is bringing DeFi to Cosmos, and so it's just an exciting thing to play with and to connect with. So they have. Sorry, go ahead.
I just said I agree.
Oh yeah. So they have a couple of modes of liquidity rewards, and for locking up liquidity tokens from the various pools. That seems to work great for certain kinds of yield farming. But as more and more people add more and more pools, because let's face it, if you're bringing on a Cosmos chain at this point, you probably want your token on Osmosis, right? There will be additional kinds or patterns of reward that people want to have, and the big thing that Agoric provides is rapid, or will provide once launched, is the ability to rapidly make new components, reuse them, put them together, repurpose them for things, and so forth. And so someone coming along and, if we start with a simple liquidity smart contract where you can bring the LP token over IBC and lock it up on Agoric, then that same set of tools will work for other kinds of tokens on other chains that people might directly have if they want to, lock up their native staking token for some loan chain or something like that. But it also means that we can just do the simple liquidity mining where it has terms other than the ones that Osmosis has rolled out to generally work across all of their pools. So let's say some pool, really only makes sense if it's got a really long-term lockup. That was the example of, let's say you wanted a year. Or some pool wants, increasing reward multiplier over time the longer you lock it up. Or it's got it wants a different unlocking period, and you can buy out your lockup if, for some fee if you need it, just various innovations on lockup. Agoric is great for building those innovations and having, these reusable components. I completely expect that any that turn out to look cool, Osmosis will then implement directly locally on Osmosis. But in the meantime, that means a new chain coming out will be in a position to roll out their custom behavior.
All right, that's exciting. Dean, for those of us smooth brains out here, can you give us a little primer? I mean, I see this is the 6th HackATOM event. Can you give us a little, talk a little bit about HackATOM and kind of how you guys fit into that? And
Sure. We fit in as a sponsor. HackATOM is a Cosmos ecosystem set of hackathons. Funded by some of the Cosmos ecosystem pools, AIB marketing team drives it, ICF is behind it, those kinds of things. And so it's a place where where several Cosmos-based chains come in and sponsor it, and have people build with their technology and integrate with other chains, or leverage the community that surrounds all the other zones, and so forth. And so it has grown a lot this year, right? Last year, middle of COVID year, it was fairly small. But this year, IBC launched, lots of other Cosmos chains launched.
It's a big year for Cosmos.
It's a big year for Cosmos. So instead of there being, a small number of projects and hundreds of developers, there's, there's something like hundreds of projects and thousands of developers, right? So it's
awesome.
A big step up in the number of participants. And so I should say on the challenge thing, so let me just have one more thing. So the liquidity mining thing, that's something where, make a pool, lock some token up, and then provide rewards to the participants of that token, where the rewards could be, any other token or thing going on. So if someone wants to reward using, lottery tickets that will get you an NFT, that's an example of a richer, interesting, novel reward structure.
Yeah.
But anything of that flavor. So we have loan contracts. So take a liquidity token off of Osmosis, bring it over, and take a loan out against it. Where it's being used as collateral in some loan instrument. So build up a compound-like thing, but where the thing that's powering it is liquidity tokens from AMMs, right? That'd be an example of something that I would love to see. Right?
Yeah, that could be super cool. That makes my brain start to go spinning off, because I'm thinking about superfluid staking, and I'm just like, wait a second, could I?
Yep.
Could I be LP getting the rewards for providing liquidity plus a superfluid staking plus I got this thing on Agoric and I take a loan out on it? Can I go full degen on this?
Yeah. Hey, here, Sonny. Here's one for you that we talked about several while we were at the HackATOM announcement. One that I thought came up with on the flight back. We have governance modules that are just in the process of getting, pushed into our, finished and built into our platform, that are JavaScript governance contracts, so that you can do various kinds of voting arrangements or committees or what have you, but where it's, based on the fungible tokens or NFTs that you build in the Agoric system, or bring over from any other mechanism. So it can use stake tokens or remote tokens or what have you. So what about, setting up a DAO where the voting is based on the liquidity token that comes over from some pool or set of pools on Osmosis, right? And, if that gets legs, again, could they plausibly implement that on Osmosis? Sure. But they have plenty of things to do, and the main thing is this enables someone with a pool, someone that if Akash wanted to do this, where they give voting authority to vote on some activities in Akash for by the holders of LP tokens for the Akash Osmo pool or something like that, they can just do that. Right. And so building an example of that with the thing that's controlled by governance would be pretty cool. Right. Remote cross-chain governance of whatever your community is.
Huh. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
exciting.
definitely interesting. Yeah, because like we've just launched 2 DAOs in Osmosis. We have the customer support DAO and the marketing DAO, and they're not tokenized DAO. Like we don't have DAO tokens. I know that that's a model where people do that. They issue like a DAO specific token, but like this kind of, I don't know. And now question marks are popping up with
Different
lightning
kind of
bolts on them.
governance model for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
What can
like,
you build?
is
Yeah.
that,
So
would that be kosher with the vision that Sunny has, or can we build that, and maybe we could do that to help activate and get the community more involved,
well,
and
Sunny's here.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I mean, I think more DAO tooling is definitely needed because currently the DAOs are multi-sigs and not very
Right.
big ones at that. So it'll be nice to have like better tooling around this kind of stuff.
Yep.
And yeah, this is kind of like the stuff that I think would be nice to like move on to other chains, right? Because like this is something where like it could very easily go onto another chain and have this governance processes happen there while I think this is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Good. Another reason why this HackATOM is notable is, of course, the prizes are much bigger. So aggregate prizes are up above $1 million. Agoric has a big grand prize, and we're putting up $50,000 worth of prizes. Other chains are putting up at least that much. So definitely, people have good reason to dig in and do something awesome, and we're happy to support them.
There's also a Osmosis prize that was voted in by the community pool last week. It is do something cool with Osmosis. So that is the challenge.
nice.
There's also so there's a $50,000.
Here's a question for you, Sonny.
Hmm?
So if they satisfy our cross-chain prize with Osmosis, can they apply for your prize too? Since it's cool.
Yeah, as long as it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be cool.
That's why I wanted to jump in because hey everybody,
Hey Greg,
what's up,
I'm
Greg?
like jumping out of my seat. Maybe it's either too much coffee or how freaking exciting the HackATOM is going to be.
Could be both.
It's probably both. So and some of these conversations we were having in Lisbon. So super. That was just fantastic to jam with everybody. Did you guys lose me, or am I still?
No, I hear you.
no, you're good.
Okay, great. So I actually think there's a really fantastic. So our Regen Network's HackATOM is about IBC as well and using eco credits across IBC. We're excited to get bundled eco credit assets over to Osmosis for trading. We're also excited about them going over to Agoric. And I think somebody, if they were clever, could probably get all 3 prizes at the same time. So
this is the power of interop.
Yes. Forces unite.
I talked about this during my little panel at the HackATOM kickoff. Yeah, if you're competing in a hackathon, you got to try to double dip into as many prizes as possible. That's just how you do it. You got to have, this technically qualifies for the Regen prize as well as the Agoric prize, as well as the Osmosis prize.
There should be a prize for whoever can triple. There should be a final challenge prize if
somebody triple dips and manages to pull something elegant off that does something like backing a stable currency built on Agoric from an LP position between Regen eco credit trading pairs and Regen will throw in some extra Regen on top. And
all right, now we're talking.
Wait a minute. Interop like Virtue, interop prizes are their own reward, which is you just claim 3 freaking prizes.
But it's like a synergy network effect. You got to just keep piling on. This is the power of IBC.
Yeah. I think it's a good symbolic gesture that if you can do that, pull off that synergy, there's one last cherry on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You get a crown too, IBC King.
Is there a crown? There should be a crown. That's awesome.
I guess
That's exciting.
we should take the last few minutes to field any questions if anybody has any.
Yeah, please dive in.
Pretty exciting stuff going on.
Any JavaScript developers out there?
Hey.
13.9 million of them.
Yes.
Well.
I have a question for you, Dean. I'm curious about Run a little bit more. And I believe that there's sort of a couple of different options. And I was wondering if you just explain to everybody the role of governance and the community and kind of determining what different options for how Run is going to be assembled makes sense. And then, so that the community here could be, sort of thinking about that and thinking, what's the best way to create sort of a stable IBC, natively IBC money system. So, yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I'd be happy to. So the most important thing, right, Agoric initially will have things that are permissioned, but it'll end up being a permissionless system. But the Run will be since it takes other assets as over collateralized assets, that's something where the community gets to decide. It won't be Agoric deciding even to deploy that, but rather, we build and educate people on how it'll all work and what the possibilities are, including, as you said, a couple of options of implementation approaches. But the one that seems most recommended generally is the MakerDAO CDP style one. And then the question is, what are the collateral types? What are the over collateralization ratios? And that big important question of what are the collateral types, that's really up to the community. I find it hard to imagine that the extended community connected with IBC isn't going to say, bring us Atom, right? Because that's just a huge, central asset that we're all excited to have, stable currency built around. But bringing over pegged ETH, over the various bridges, bringing over Osmo to be able to be a direct collateral, or taking this important idea from superfluid staking, bringing over a liquidity token that then acts as collateral. That's exactly the kind of thing that I expect the community not only to decide but to come up with new ideas for. So I'm really excited about where that ends up. But the goal is not only vaguely stable stablecoin, but this needs to be grease for a lot of commerce, and so it wants to be a good, robust stablecoin that's backed by real assets with real over collateralization. There are mechanisms in our extensible with extensible JavaScript that we expect can make it so over collateralization isn't required, but or isn't as required. But fundamentally, want a very sound Run currency for people to use.
CPH, did you have a question? DeFi DGen?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. I have a question regarding the Osmo tokenomics, I guess. I'm wondering, I've been LPing on Osmosis for a few months and I've really enjoyed it. But, as all the pools are earning Osmo tokens, it's a lot of inflation on the token. And I'm kind of wondering, I know you have the staking, which is a deflationary pressure on the token. But I'm wondering, how do you guys feel about the sustainability of the Osmo token? And it's actually performed very well, surprisingly, compared to other, farm tokens. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So, if you actually go look at the Osmosis tokenomics blog post on the Medium, basically it lays out like sort of the token model where basically, in the first few years, the token is actually very inflationary, right? So you end up getting there's 100 million tokens in the Genesis. And in the first year, there's 300 million tokens that are issued. But then what happens is every year following that, it gets cut by 1/3. So in year 2, there'll be 200 million tokens issued. And then year 3, there's 133 million, and so on and so forth. And so what's cool is, this means that there actually is a known fixed cap for the osmosis supply, which ends up being 1 billion tokens. Because if you look at, you can do that as a math if you do. It's kind of instead of like a halvening, instead it's more like a thirdening. But
we lost Sonny. Did you guys hear Sonny?
No, I'm not. Yeah, taken away.
Okay, you dropped out for a second. I think you're back, Sonny.
Hey, okay, I don't know, I have a new phone, so I'll talk from this account now.
Nice. The benefit of having 2 phones.
Oh yeah. I got a new Pixel 6, and I'm still figuring it out. Been a few years since I had an Android. Anyways, so what I was saying was, yeah, so there's a new sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, so there's a fixed cap of
the thirdening
of Osmo. Yeah, it's sort of like a thirdening instead of like a halvening. And the reason it was so inflationary at Genesis was, we really intended this initial distribution. This is the initial distribution event of osmosis, right? Like, we had this airdrop at Genesis that gave away a bunch of tokens, but I see that was really meant to be sort of this like invite, whereas like it's a way of getting everyone's attention and being like, hey, here's this cool osmosis thing, here's your invitation to come be a part of it. But really, to be a part of it, you have to come provide liquidity and like actually participate into the system. And so yeah, the goal in a way was actually to dilute out the non-active users and instead give lots of rewards and higher ownership to the people who are active and in using the platform. And so yeah, as we go forward, the system will reduce its issuance according to the thirdening rules, and that will. So that's sort of like the design of the tokenomics and why it's so inflationary right now, and how it like changes over time. Does it answer the question?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sweet.
Nice.
Anybody
Anyone else
have any questions?
I think Karen Crypto has been up there.
Oh, are they? Tara, yeah.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So my question regards Crypto.com and the CRO token specifically. It's arguably the most popular on-ramp that's connected to IBC for fiat currency and specifically new users. With the big announcement recently of the Staples Center in LA being renamed to Crypto.com Arena, do any of these projects that have spoken today, Bitsong, Regen, what was the other one? Agoric. Any of these projects have any specific plans to partner with Crypto.com, the CRO token, any extra incentives there to get more visibility to the new users and to make it easier for that fiat to crypto on-ramp so you can start doing all the degen stuff that Kevin was talking about of do this with an LP token and really pulling that degen shenanigans. We need the fiat on-ramp first. What plans are there to specifically have these new projects pair with that fiat on-ramp?
I can speak briefly. The planning is not maybe the right word, but active conversations and a lot of excitement, I'd say, is sort of like what's easy to report to the community. Things, at least on our end, and I can't speak for the other folks, things haven't yet solidified quite yet, but been having some really great conversations with the Crypto.com crew. And also just want to shout out to Crypto.com. They also have been really fantastic at leaning in and being solid contributors to the Cosmos SDK, and just like generally pretty, I'm pretty amped on Crypto.com's role in the ecosystem. So also pretty excited about the opportunity there to broaden the ecosystem, and yeah, totally an important part of the puzzle.
Yeah, and I would like to see more shenanigans.
Yeah, like Greg said, I just want to say, yeah, they've been actually, unlike some other exchanges that use the Cosmos SDK, they actually, contribute back.
Finance.
Yeah. There's a lot of projects that use the tooling and don't really contribute back to the ecosystem. But the Crypto.com team has been very very collaborative with the entire ecosystem. They've done a lot of the work on the Ether Mint along with the Evmos team. But yeah, so they're doing a lot of cool stuff. And yeah, I think getting better fiat on ramps into Cosmos, I think, will be super useful. And yeah, I gotta set up another call with the Crypto.com folks. It's been a while since I talked to them. But yeah, I'm super excited about Kronos as well, because I think it's it'd be really cool to get a another sort of exchange EVM ecosystem similar to BSC, but one that's actually much more IBC native.
Do we have time for one more? Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm good with it.
Baby Boss.
Welcome, Baby Boss.
Hey, Sonny. I was just wondering, what are your plans for adding UST into the Cosmos or Osmosis ecosystem? Thank you.
Yeah. So UST is already, it's already available in Osmosis. It's all, there's trading pairs for it. I've noticed a lot of the new projects that have been launching on Osmosis, they've been opting to create UST trading pairs as well, basically along with the Osmo ones. And yeah, I've been talking to Doe a bunch about, Doe really wants to get UST to become the biggest the money of the Cosmos ecosystem. And so we've been brainstorming a bunch of ideas on how to make that happen. So yeah, Luna incentives were activated on 2 of the pools so far, which were the UST Osmo pool and the UST Luna pool. So you can get some on those pools you'll be getting both Osmo and Luna incentives. But coming soon, there'll be a lot more Luna incentives coming for UST base pairs.
Yeah, I would love to see that. And if you're a Terran or a lunatic out there, I think we want to see more matching incentives. Maybe that's just me, but I'd be excited for that.
I don't think.
I guess one thing that's kind of cool is I don't know if I think it should be live, which is so Terra, UST has one of Terra's many stable coins. Technically, they actually have stable coins for a couple of different currencies, and so we were just looking at our analytics, and we were like, hey, a lot of our community is actually from Korea. So it makes sense because half the co-founders half the team is from Korea, in fact.
Right.
But so we actually added KRT, which is the Korean won stablecoin from Terra. So you can actually go use that on Osmosis right now as well.
Maybe we can do a Squid Game themed pool. Since that was the prize there was won.
Yeah, I think someone has to go create a pool for KRT, maybe a UST KRT pool or something. But once that's up, might be a nice way of for the Korean community to use that as their unit of account if that's what they prefer.
See a triple pool with the Euro and UST and KRT.
Yeah. Note to Wales with holding a lot of KRT.
There's a lot of Forex traders out there, so maybe this will get some of that volume.
Yeah, come on down.
All right, well, I guess if we didn't get to your questions, I apologize. Join us next week.
Yeah, we'll be back. And great guest today, Ayulian from Bitsong. We had Roland and Dean from Agoric. And thanks for all the questions.
Yep.
Just wanted to add a thing, if we have a minute.
Oh.
We just to step back a little bit to HackATOM, we're also running our challenge, which is basically we aim to let's say to bring Opensea, which is one of the biggest NFTs marketplace on Ethereum, and we're aiming to bring it to Cosmos SDK by building a module for.
Wow!
All right.
So this is something that we really need, and this is something that also the whole Cosmos ecosystem needs, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Cool.
That's great. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that.
Into the
Opensea
combo.
integration, HackATOM.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Challenge.
Right on. Well, Sonny, Kevin, I'll see you guys next week.
It's been good. We'll catch you next week, and thanks everybody for joining us.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Cheers.
Thanks for your time. Cheers.